What's up? You checking out the Frequent Flyer, and I just wanted to touch bases with you guys a little bit. First off, I wanted to talk about this Tinyhawk here. Now my Tinyhawk is dead. What I did was I tried 2S on this little guy. So don't try 2S on it. As soon as I plugged it up, the two ESCs in the rear just smoked. I got the magic smoke and the motors in the rear wouldn't turn anymore. I just had to try it. I killed the little thing. So I had to order a new FC, and I was saying that I was going to show you guys the fix that Emax put out for the MCU lockup. The MCU lockup was being caused by the battery voltage reaching 3.4 volts and below, because the MCU, they were saying, is designed to run off 3.4 volts and no less. And so when the battery reaches that LVC level, the Tinyhawk started doing some weird things. So I was saying I was going to show you guys the fix to that. And the fix they were saying is to add a cap across the 3.3 volt and the ground here. So the cap would go right here. I was doing it wrong. I was trying to cap over the power leads, and so it didn't work that way. And I received my FC, and I have some bad news for you guys. Well, it's good news and bad news. The good news is that I received the FC and I can fix the Tinyhawk and do some more testing. The bad news is, I guess this can be categorized as bad news. I won't be showing you guys how to do it because the new board came with it already installed. So I guess that's a good sign there, because all of the new Tinyhawks, I'm expecting to have this fix done to it now, so you won't have to bother with even going to do this. But if you have the Tinyhawk and you want to make this fix here, you have to add one of these small caps here across the 3.3 volt pad and the ground here on the bottom. So unfortunately, I'm not going to have to do that fix now because it came already fixed. And so I'll just be installing it. But the good news is I'll be able to test these. So these are the Infinity 450 milliamp hour 1S high voltage graphene packs. So awesome that we have graphene for our 1S whoops now. And I did do a video already on it, but I didn't use the Tinyhawk. I'm really anxious to get the Tinyhawk in the air with these batteries here, because the Tinyhawk's motors are really special. They have bearings, but not only that, they're a little more powerful than the motors that are on this guy. This one has 802 motors, while the Tinyhawk has 802.5 motors, and they're noticeably stronger than those, more powerful. Seems like anyhow. The punch out on a Tinyhawk is a lot better than the punch out on this, and the punch out on this is not that bad with these graphene packs. So I'm really anxious to see how it improves the punch out on this guy. So I will be doing testing once I fix this guy. I won't be doing a video on how to fix it because it's really just a plug and play job. As you can see, the Tinyhawk has plug and play motors. So the only solder I have to do is soldering the camera back on, and that's something really simple. So I won't do a whole video just to solder the camera on and snap the plugs back in, but I will be doing the testing. And so the final thing I wanted to talk about is this guy here. This is the LDA RC GT7. Not so much in the speed department. It only has 9,000 kV motors, but this thing is really sturdy. It's built like a tank, and it really survived some really horrific crashes that I had with just minor scratches on it. And this thing is just a blast to fly. And I think it has a lot to do with how tough it is, because it takes a load off your shoulders knowing that you're not going to really break this thing. So I tend to fly this a lot more carefree than I would the others. Well, the Tinyhawk, I didn't really get a chance to fly it a whole lot, but this one gave me that feeling as well, that nothing was going to break. I did see that Bob broke these here, but mine has been holding up. I've been crashing it when I first had it, I was crashing it a lot and nothing broke on it. I was under the perception that this guy was unbreakable for the most part and flying anyhow, but he managed to break his, so it is possible. Oh, and the other thing, I was gonna do a chop shop on this. I might still do a chop shop on this one, but I won't be changing the motors because the motors have these 3 mounting holes. I'm missing a screw there. I just noticed, but that's gonna stop me from swapping the motors out because the motors that I had in mind are these 905 motors, 10,000 kV from DYS. See if I can get the camera to focus. I guess you guys can see that. It's 10,000 kV, 905 motors. So really powerful motors compared to the ones that these other little guys have. But it has these 4 mounting holes on it. So that poses a bit of a problem for me to swap these out for it. I don't know, I was thinking about drilling holes in here to accommodate it, but that requires like a lot of precise measurement and all to get it perfectly centered. So I don't think I'm going to go that far to add these motors to that. I probably will be doing a separate build with these motors, and they are 2S, and maybe I'll try some larger props than these guys are using here. And finally, these Beta FPV 350 milliamp hour batteries I'm going to be using for this guy here. These are 2S batteries, the new ones from Beta FPV, and I lost the battery to this guy. I crashed it really hard over there in the construction yard, never found the battery. Was going to swap out that. I still might do a chop shop on this for sure, because I'm going to swap out that balance lead there and add an XT30. And so I'm going to show you guys how you can use these batteries with this guy. I just inserted a small piece of foam there, and check it out. So that makes the battery hold tight, and it works really nice with these batteries. So you can look forward to some testing with these batteries here. Thanks for watching.